Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. Today is going to be a day of installing a bumper. We've got the rugged Ridge Stubby HD front bumper here, minus the overrider bar, just going to be just the bumper. So let's get to it. We're going to take off the factory bumper, take out the factory LED fog lights, pop them in this one, slap it on, and call it a day. Next, we're going to take out the factory bumper, disconnect the LED lights, and just get that whole thing off so we can see what we're working with. So now that we got the factory bumper off, the first step of the instructions is to get those factory LED fog lights out. So let's get to that. Looks like it's going to be a lot of little bolts and little fender clips, that kind of fun stuff. So let's get to it. So we now have access to remove the fog lights here, but we still have to remove the whole metal insert so we can gain access to the wiring harness. We can pull all that out as well. We just finished taking off the wiring harness. You need to have some kind of clip remover tool, otherwise that harness you'll be fighting all day and you'll probably break all of those Christmas tree things. And here's a quick look as to why you need to have a clip remover tool. Those are all clips that were in the fenders, by 20, 30 of them, who knows. A bunch of little bolts we had to take out. And then here's the wiring harness. About every 6 inches is a Christmas tree. So very important to have a clip remover tool. So next, it seems like we're going to bolt in the LEDs into the new bumper. I believe we have some LED brackets. If you have standard incandescent fog lights, I think that there's bolts right in with these carriage bolts. But if you got the LEDs like I do, you got to use a little adapter first to get them in. But we'll see. We'll read some instructions and carry on. All right. So for fog light installation, it says if installing incandescent for the JKJL, light will mount directly with the carriage bolts into the bumper. If you're installing LED option for JL, which I would assume JT, you'll need to use the bracket shown here. The light assembly mounts to the bracket, and then brackets mount to the fog light bucket. So I saw a video of this and I saw this bracket being used, but mine don't have those little push tabs or anything. This is the LED came off, and this bracket will not, I don't see any way to line it up. So I lined this up in the bumper, and it lines up in the bumper. So rugged Ridge, for people installing on the Gladiator, this bracket is not needed. This LED must be different on the Gladiator, and this will mount straight into the bumper. Let's get to it. fog lights are installed, so next step is now to get the bumper on the Jeep. Cool thing to note is that, as you may know, this is a JK/JL Gladiator bumper, so it does come with all the brackets for either application. So if you have a JK07 or newer, any Jeep past 2007, this bumper will work for, which is pretty cool. The brackets that are different are mainly for the winch and how to attach and reinforce that winch plate to the frame of the Jeep. So either way, they got you covered, which is really cool. Next, we're going to be putting the bumper on the Jeep, and it has plastic little tabs that hold the bolts in place inside the bumper, so you can line them up into those frame holes. Those little plastic tabs are holding these bolts in place, so you can slip them in. So we'll see how well that goes, and they provide hardware for bolting it all back on. We're just going to loosely install it now, and then loosely get those frame brackets, put it in place for the winch, and then we'll tighten it all up, get the wiring harness in, we'll be good to go. Right now we're not installing a winch at all, so we're just bolting it up, and we'll put a winch in some other day. So I wasn't going to worry about the secondary project in today's video, but I'm kind of realizing I need both at the same time. That secondary project is installing some lights on the bumper. I picked up these cheap Amazon lights, going to test them out. It's hit or miss with Amazon lights, but sometimes you get a good bang for your buck. Problem is, this hole where the striker bar or overrider bar is going to typically go, it gets covered up by the frame right here once we put the bumper on. So there's about a ½ inch gap in there, but I can't get the bolt in first. So what I'm gonna do is take the bumper off, pull the bracket on for the light, and then put this bumper back on. So bear with me, but we'll have lights on sooner than later. Alrighty, so the bumper is now officially reinstalled with the little brackets on here for the LED lights. So next we're gonna look at the winch brackets and get those installed and then tighten everything up. Alrighty, so these winch brackets are installed on both the passenger and driver's side now. Just a few bolts and on the frame. So now I'm just going through and we're going to tighten down everything to spec. Finishes up the install. The lights and bumper are all completed. The lights are working great, and I think the bumper just looks fantastic. Super easy install. Only downside is it's 115 today here in Arizona. But other than that, very smooth install, except for the part where I had to take off the bumper to put the light brackets on. But easy day. I love that this bumper retains the factory fog lights and allows for some additional protection over the factory bumper, and just gives it that more aggressive look, and is more of a stubby to allow more clearance to your tires. So very happy with this bumper, and we'll see how it holds up over time. And that's going to do it for today's video, guys. Please like, subscribe, all that fun stuff. Please comment with any questions you had for me about the installation or any of the products you've seen on my Jeep. Be happy to answer those questions, and stay tuned for some more family adventures coming up soon. I'm sure there's going to be more installs along the way. Take care.